Welcome to the May 4th edition of Monday Motivation, PowerPoints for Successful Christian Living. This week in my Toastmasters group, the theme of the week was embracing change. So I did a speech called Waves of Change, and that's what I'm going to share with you on this Monday Motivation. This is my speech, Waves of Change. Enjoy. Thank you. How many of you can say, I love change? Bring it on, bring it on. I will embrace change. Show of hands? Okay, probably not too many hands went up because most of us do not like change. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, most of us do not like change. But why do we not like change? Or if we don't like it, we at least resist it. Well, we are creatures of habit. We like our habits. We like our routines. We like things to be predictable because that makes life comfortable. That makes life easy. And when change comes, well, that all changes. I think of when I first get up in the morning. I drag myself out of bed, put my pants on, if I don't, family complains, and I wander to the kitchen, and I pull out 2 pieces of raisin bread. My eyes are still closed. Put them in the toaster. Go over, make some coffee. Go back, butter my toast, get my coffee. But see, that is my morning routine. And when I get some coffee and some caffeine into me, and a couple of pieces of bread, then I start to wake up and my eyes start to open. But that is my routine, and that gets me through the morning. I don't have to think. I just go through it. But change is the enemy to that routine. If I stumble into the kitchen and my wife brought that stupid whole wheat bread with bird seed on the top, I don't like that. That's taking me out of my comfort zone. If I go over to the coffee and somebody has moved the coffee and I can't find it and I have to go looking for it, that is change I don't like. I want it to be there because that helps me with my routine. That helps me get through the morning. And we have these routines that we are set in our ways because that helps us get through life. That keeps us comfortable. And when change comes, we are driven out of our comfort zone. And that's why we often look at change as an enemy. But then really, is change our enemy? Or should we embrace change? Or at least accept change? Well, think when you were in grade 8. You were top of the food chain. You thought you knew everything. And it was great in grade 8. But then when you finished grade 8, can you imagine if you just stayed there where you would be now today? You'd still have a grade 8 education. But no. That summer, it's like, oh no, change is coming. I'm going to grade 9. And you were nervous about that change. And then September came and you went into grade 9 and you adapted and you adjusted. And you continued your education. But it only continued because you accepted that change. Or if you were like me, you were dragged through that change. But you went through it and then you continued your education rather than staying where you used to be. And the same when you finish grade 12 and your post-secondary education. All through life, change moves us from one level to the next. You might be in, say, for example, poor or unacceptable or mediocre circumstances. Let's say a dead-end job. You can then stay there because it's comfortable, you get a paycheck to pay the bills. Paying the bills is important, that works for a while. But eventually that job's going to kill you. You need to then say, oh, I'm going to have to change. I'm going to have to look for change and accept change to get from a mediocre or a poor position to where you want to be. Change is necessary in those cases. Change keeps life interesting and exciting. My breakfast routine is good to get me through the morning, but after a while it gets boring. So sometimes things have to change just to keep life interesting and exciting. A number of years back, 4 years ago, a friend of mine said, come on down to California. He was living down there. And he taught me he said, I'm going to teach you how to surf. So he flew me down there, business class, good friend, obviously. And I said, okay, I don't want to do anything else. I just want to learn how to surf. So out we go, first day. And he's teaching me. And as I'm going into the water, you just feel the force of the waves against me. Those waves rushing in. And they would push you over quite often. And he taught me how to get the board through the waves and get out to where we needed to be to surf. And we're sitting there. First wave comes. He says, wait. And we just sit there on the boards and we wait. He said, second wave comes. Not yet. And then off in the distance, we see that third wave coming at us. And it's a big one. And he says, okay, do what I say. And as the wave gets closer, he says, okay, now paddle hard, paddle hard. And then he says, okay, get on the wave, get on the board, go. But you know what? I panicked, and it threw me off the board, and I'm spinning under the water, taking on salt water, looking for which way is up, and shoot up and like, okay, that wasn't fun as I'm spitting up all the salt water. But the power of the wave, and I wasn't ready, and I was fighting against the wave, just knocked me off the board. Then, the next time, we're out there. Wave comes, says, hold on. Next wave comes, he says, that's it. The big wave. He says, okay, paddle hard, paddle hard. And he says, now catch that wave. And I caught it. And I rode that, I hung on tight. I didn't stand up, but I hung on tight, and I caught that wave, and I rode that wave all the way into shore. But you know what I learned from that as a life lesson? Those are like the waves of change. You can't fight them. They are coming. They are powerful. They are coming. But when they do come, are you going to let it knock you off your board and take you under, possibly drown you or drag you out to sea and you're gone? Or are you going to catch that wave and ride that wave till the end? Just like this coronavirus. Are you going to ride this wave, or are you going to let it drag you under? The choice is yours. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster. I trust you enjoyed that speech. If you're one of these people who can ride the waves of change and you do well with it, that's great. And encourage people, help people along who maybe can't do it as well as you can. However, if you're somebody who struggles, feels like you've been knocked off your board and you're drowning in the wave, it's pulling you to sea, reach out for help. You don't have to do this alone. One, you can pray. Reach out to God, say, God, I'm struggling, I need help. And He promises that He will never leave us or forsake us. Reach out through prayer. Second, reach out to somebody in your church, a pastor, somebody, a mentor, somebody you trust within your church, or if you need to, reach out professional help. Reach out for professional help. We're here. Give us a call. Contact us through our feedback form. Our website, where you can find the feedback form, is monday-motivation.ca. Make sure you like this video. Have a great week, but don't struggle. Reach out if you need to. We'll see you next week on Monday Motivation. Have a great week.